Commander Lisa Martinez stood on the observation deck of the USS Frontier. She looked out at the purple clouds of the space area called NGC-117. The research ship was sent to check strange energy readings. No one thought they would find aliens. But then a black ship showed up on their screens. The alien ship called them. The crew was shocked when they saw what the aliens looked like. The aliens, who called themselves Vexkar, were tall and muscular with shiny scales and yellow eyes. Their leader, named Kirzath, spoke perfect English. This made Security Officer Paul Winters very worried. The Vexkar said they were peaceful explorers, but their ship had many weapons that humans had never seen before. Captain Greg Daniels welcomed them carefully. He set up a meeting on the Frontier. Science Officer Kelly White felt nervous about the aliens' too perfect manners and predatory smiles. But the chance to meet aliens for the first time was too important to miss. During the ship tour, Kirzath seemed very interested in how strong humans were. He asked many questions about Earth's gravity, human muscles, and how fast humans could react. In the ship's gym, he watched the crew exercise with unusual focus. His forked tongue sometimes flicked out to taste the air. What no one knew was that the Vexkar weren't explorers at all. They were scouts for the most feared hunters in the galaxy, and they had just found their next hunting ground. 3 weeks later, the Frontier returned to Earth. Martinez couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong about their alien visitors. The Vexkar had left suddenly, saying they needed to report back to their people. Their parting message was strange. "We look forward to experiencing all that humanity has to offer." Martinez sat in her apartment in New Houston, watching the rain against her window. Her cat, Orbital, purred in her lap as she reviewed her notes from the encounter for the 100th time. Something about the way Kirzath had studied them all, like a chef appraising ingredients rather than a diplomat meeting equals. Her thoughts were interrupted by her phone buzzing. It was Captain Daniels. "Martinez, turn on the news. Now." She grabbed her remote and flicked on the wall screen. The emergency broadcast system showed footage from Luna Colony. The reporter's voice was shaking. "We're getting reports of an attack on Luna Colony. All contact was lost 3 hours ago. The first emergency teams arrived to find... The camera showed empty corridors, abandoned meals, a child's toy dropped on the floor, but no people, not a single body, just emptiness, where 5,000 colonists should have been." Martinez felt cold dread wash over her. "It's them, isn't it, sir?" "The energy signature matches their ships," Daniels confirmed. "They're back, and they didn't come to talk this time." At the Space Defense Force headquarters in Colorado, the Situation Room was chaos. Admiral Joe Harris pounded his fist on the table. "What do you mean we lost contact with Mars Outpost? That's our largest off-world military base." The young lieutenant's face was pale. "Sir, before communications cut out, they sent this." The screen showed grainy footage from a security camera. SDF soldiers fired desperately at shadowy figures moving too fast to see clearly. One soldier was lifted off his feet by something that seemed to shimmer in and out of visibility. Then the feed cut to static. The door burst open and a woman in a rumpled lab coat rushed in. "Admiral, I'm Dr. Cindy Brooks from Xenobiology. I need to show you something." Without waiting for permission, she plugged a data stick into the main console. The screen showed Kirzath during his visit to the Frontier. Dr. Brooks froze the frame and zoomed in on his eyes. Look at his pupil structure. These aren't the eyes of an explorer or diplomat. These are the eyes of an apex predator. Everything about their biology screams hunter, from their sensory organs to their muscle structure. Admiral Harris frowned. "What are you saying, Doctor?" "I'm saying we're not meeting a new civilization. We're being hunted by one." In rural Wyoming, Sheriff Rita Boyd didn't know about Luna Colony or Mars Outpost yet. All she knew was that 3 families had gone missing from their farms in the past week. No signs of struggle, no evidence of where they went, just empty houses with dinner still warm on the table. She drove slowly down the country road, scanning the fields with her flashlight. The radio crackled with static. That was strange. Reception was usually clear out here. Something moved in. The cornfield to her right. Something big. She stopped the car and drew her gun. "This is Sheriff Boyd. Come out with your hands where I can see them." The cornstalks parted. What stepped out wasn't human. It stood nearly 7 feet tall with scales that shimmered between green and black, its yellow eyes fixed on her with horrible intelligence. A forked tongue tasted the air. Boyd fired her gun. The bullets hit the creature's chest and bounced, off like pebbles. It tilted its head, seeming almost amused. "Your species has courage," it said in perfect English. "This will make the hunt more satisfying." Boyd tried to get back in her car, but the creature moved faster than anything she had ever seen. In a blur, it was upon her. Dr. Alan Murphy had been called to Washington from his university lab. The president's science advisor had requested him personally. Murphy was the world's leading expert on theoretical xenobiology, though until 3 weeks ago it had been a purely theoretical field. Now, as he was escorted into the White House bunker, he realized his theories were being tested in the worst possible way. Inside the Situation Room, the president and Joint Chiefs looked grim. Screen after screen showed the same story. Colonies going dark, ships disappearing, mysterious abductions on Earth. "Dr. Murphy," the president said, "we need to understand what we're dealing with." Murphy cleared his throat. "Based on the limited data we have, the Vexcar appear to be an advanced species with a culture centered around hunting. Their technology far surpasses ours, but it's their biology that concerns me most. They've evolved as perfect predators." "Can we fight them?" asked the general of the army. "Conventional weapons seem ineffective against their natural armor, but every species has weaknesses. We need to find theirs." As if on cue, all screens in the room suddenly went dark. Then they flickered back to life, showing the face of Kirzath. "People of Earth," the alien said, his yellow eyes gleaming. "You have been chosen for the great hunt. This is our highest honor. For the next lunar cycle, we will hunt your kind. Those who survive may be deemed worthy of continued existence." The president leaned forward. "Why are you doing this?" "We offered friendship." Kirzath's mouth formed what might have been a smile, revealing rows of sharp teeth. "Friendship is for equals. The hunt reveals whether you deserve that status. Prepare yourselves. The hunting grounds are open." The screens went dark again. In the silence that followed, Murphy spoke quietly. "We need to understand them better than they understand us. It's our only chance." The president nodded grimly. "You have whatever resources you need. Find their weakness. Doctor, find it fast." Outside, night was falling across America, and with the darkness, the hunting would begin. 2 weeks after the Vexcar announced their hunt, Earth was in chaos. Cities emptied as people tried to hide underground or in remote areas. But the hunters found them everywhere. They didn't seem to kill humans. They took them alive, vanishing, without a trace. Dr. Alan Murphy worked day and night in the underground facility in Colorado. The government had given him a team of the best scientists from around the world. They needed to find a way to fight back, and fast. "Play the Wyoming footage again," Murphy said to his assistant, Dr. Nancy Ford. The screen showed the encounter between Sheriff Rita Boyd and the Vexcar hunter. Boyd had somehow managed to activate her body camera before being taken. The team had watched it hundreds of times looking for any clue. "Stop there," Murphy pointed. "See how it reacts when she fires her gun? It's not just that the bullets don't hurt it. Look at its ears." Ford zoomed in on the alien's head. Its ear openings, small slits on the side of its head, seemed to contract. "They're sensitive to sound," Murphy said. "Or maybe pressure changes." The door opened and Officer Paul Winters walked in. After the first contact on the frontier, he had been assigned to Murphy's team as security and advisor. "We got another video," Winters said grimly. "Farm in Nebraska. A family was hiding in their storm cellar when a hunter found them." He plugged in a memory stick. The footage showed a shaky cell phone video of a Vexcar breaking through a metal door. The father of the family, a large man, swung a baseball bat at the alien's head. The bat broke on impact, but for a moment the hunter staggered backward, shaking its head as if dizzy. "Did you see that?" Ford jumped up. "Play it again." They watched it 5 more times. The alien wasn't hurt by the bat, but something about the impact had affected it. It's not the force, Murphy said slowly. It's the pressure wave. Their inner ear must be extremely sensitive. Their homeworld probably has different gravity and air pressure than Earth. For the first time in weeks, Murphy felt a small spark of hope. Lisa Martinez had been promoted to captain after Greg Daniels was taken in the first wave of abductions. Now she commanded the USS Defender, Earth's newest warship. It wasn't as big as the Vexcar vessels, but it was fast and armed with everything humans could think of. "Captain, we're detecting a hunter ship near Saturn," said the radar operator. "Battle stations," Martinez ordered. "Prepare main cannons." The Defender moved silently through space, approaching the alien vessel from behind one of Saturn's moons. The Vexcar ship was smaller than their main vessels, probably a scout or hunting party. "Fire when ready," Martinez said. The Defender's cannons lit up space with energy beams, direct hits on the alien ship. But when the light faded, the hunter vessel appeared undamaged. "They're turning to engage," the weapons officer reported nervously. "Evasive maneuvers," Martinez shouted. The Defender rolled and dived, but the hunter ship was faster. A blue beam lashed out, cutting through the Defender's shields like they weren't there. "Hull breach on deck 3, we're losing power." Martinez gripped her chair as the ship shuddered around her. "Get us out of here. Maximum speed." The Defender limped away, barely escaping destruction. As they retreated, Martinez watched the hunter ship resume its original course as if the battle had been nothing more than a minor annoyance. Back at Lunar Base, Martinez met with Admiral Harris. "Their technology is too advanced," she admitted. "Conventional weapons are useless." Harris nodded, grimly. "We've lost contact with most of Asia and South America. The hunters are everywhere." He pulled up a secure channel on his tablet. "But there might be hope. Dr. Murphy has a theory." In the Colorado facility, Murphy's team worked frantically on their new idea. If the Vexcar's inner ear was their weakness, they needed a weapon that could exploit it. Dr. Ford had designed a special glove that could create a compressed airwave on impact. "Like a slap that creates a sonic boom," she explained. Sam Russell, their physics expert, helped refine the design. "The pressure has to be just right. Too little won't affect them. Too much might kill them." "Would killing them be so bad?" Winters asked. Murphy shook his head. "We don't know enough about their society. If we start killing them, they might stop, taking prisoners and start exterminating us instead." They tested the glove on a piece of Vexcar technology they had recovered. The alien metal vibrated strangely when hit with the special slap, as if resonating at a specific frequency. "It's working," Ford exclaimed. "Now we just need to test it on an actual hunter." "That's the hard part," Murphy said. "How do we catch one?" In what remained of Chicago, Diane Miller led a group of survivors. She had been a boxing coach before the invasion. Now she taught people how to move, how to hide, how to survive. "They hunt by pattern," she told her group as they moved through the empty streets. "They expect us to run in straight lines, to hide in obvious places. We need to be unpredictable." A noise made them freeze. Something was moving in the building across the street. Miller signaled her group to split up and take cover. A Vexcar hunter emerged from the shadows. It was carrying something that looked like a high-tech spear. Its yellow eyes scanned the area. Miller's heart pounded. She had seen these creatures take down people twice her size, but she had also studied them. They were predators, yes, but predators had instincts that could be used against them. She picked up a rock and threw it far down the street. The noise made the hunter turn sharply. Miller threw another rock in a different direction. The hunter's head swiveled back and forth, confused by the conflicting sounds. Miller's radio crackled softly. It was a message from the resistance. "Special forces inbound to your location. Operation Handprint is a go. Keep the target distracted." She didn't know what Operation Handprint was, but if it meant help was coming, she would do her part. She continued throwing rocks in different directions, making the hunter spin around in confusion. Suddenly, 4 soldiers in black uniforms appeared on the rooftops surrounding the hunter. They wore strange-looking gloves that glowed blue around the edges. "Now!" shouted their leader. The soldiers leaped down. The hunter reacted with incredible speed, swinging its spear. 2 soldiers went down immediately, but the third got close enough and swung his gloved hand. The slap connected with the side of the hunter's head. The glove made a sound like thunder. The hunter froze, then collapsed to the ground, twitching. The lead soldier turned to Miller. "Dr. Murphy sends his regards. Tell your people we finally have a way to fight back." Miller stared at the fallen hunter in amazement. "You took it down with a slap?" The soldier grinned. "Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best. Now help us secure it before it wakes up. Dr. Murphy has a lot of questions for our new prisoner." For the first time since the hunt began, Miller felt real hope. Humans had found a weakness in the galaxy's most dangerous hunters, and now the hunters were about to become the hunted. The captured Vexcar hunter was taken to the Colorado facility. It was kept in a special room with thick glass walls. Dr. Murphy watched as the alien slowly woke up. Its yellow eyes focused on him with clear intelligence. "Can you understand me?" Murphy asked. The hunter tilted its head. "Yes, Prey. I understand your simple language." Murphy tried not to show his fear. "We're not prey. We're humans, and this is our world." The hunter made a sound like laughter. "All species say this when the hunt begins. Yet all become prey in the end." Dr. Ford joined Murphy at the glass. "Why do you hunt other species? What do you gain?" "Status. Honor. The right to breed." The hunter's forked tongue flicked out. "Your kind is interesting prey. Most species run and hide. Some try to fight. But you adapt. It makes the hunt more enjoyable." Murphy felt sick, but he pressed on. "Your people have taken thousands of humans. Where are they? Are they alive?" "The worthy ones are preserved. They will be studied, displayed in our trophy halls." The hunter's scales shifted color slightly. "The unworthy are consumed," Ford gasped. Murphy kept his face neutral. "We've found your weakness. Your inner ear is sensitive to pressure changes. That's why our slap weapon works." For the first time, the hunter showed something like concern. "A minor defect. Our warriors will adapt." "Not quickly enough," Murphy said. "We're making more of these weapons. Soon we'll be able to fight back across the world." The hunter hissed. "The Supreme Hunter comes. Kirzath himself leads this hunt. He has never failed. Your resistance is meaningless." Murphy turned to leave, but the hunter spoke again. "Prey should know the rules of the hunt. Kill a Supreme Hunter and your species is deemed too dangerous to hunt. But no prey has ever managed this feat." Murphy looked back at the alien. "There's a first time for everything." In what was left of the White House, Admiral Harris met with the remaining world leaders by video call. President Carol Lewis looked exhausted but determined. "Operation Handprint is working," Harris reported. "We've captured 3 hunters and taken down 12 more. The slap gloves are our best weapon so far." "But we're still losing," said the European Chancellor. "For every hunter we stop, they take 1,000 more humans." Harris nodded grimly. "That's why we need to take the fight to them. Dr. Murphy has learned from the captured hunters that they're controlled by a Supreme Hunter named Kirzath. The same one who first contacted us," Lewis said. "Can we find him?" "Our captured hunter says Kirzath commands from their mothership. It's currently hovering over what's left of Sydney," the Australian Prime Minister spoke up. "My people report increased hunter activity there. They're gathering for something big." Lewis looked at each face on the screen. "Then that's where we need to strike. Admiral, assemble your best team. We need to get onto that mothership and find Kirzath. If we can capture or kill their leader," Harris said, "we might be able to stop this hunt." "Then make it happen," Lewis ordered. "Humanity is counting on you." Olivia Garcia had been a major in the Special Forces before the invasion. Now she led the elite team called Ghost Squad. They were the best of the best, and they had the most experience fighting the hunters. Garcia studied the plans for Operation Supreme Hunt with her team. They would use a captured hunter ship to approach the mothership, Then sneak aboard and find Kirzath. The slap gloves have been upgraded, she told her team. The new version, called the Thunderclap, has twice the power. One hit can completely disable a hunter. Jack Thompson, her second-in-command, tried on the new glove. It covered his hand and forearm with sleek metal and glowing blue energy lines. "Feels powerful," he said. "But will it be enough against their leader? The captured hunters say he's bigger and stronger than the others." Garcia nodded. "That's why we're bringing a secret weapon." She pointed to a tall man standing in the corner. "This is Ed Mitchell. Before the invasion, he was a professional basketball player. Now he's our ace." Mitchell stepped forward. His hands were enormous, nearly twice the size of an average man's. "The bigger the hand, the stronger the slap," Garcia explained. "And Ed here has the biggest hands we could find." Mitchell tried on a special thunderclap glove made just for his massive hand. "I never thought I'd be saving the world with a slap," he said with a small smile. "We leave in 6 hours," Garcia told the team. "Get ready. This is our one chance to end the hunt." The captured hunter ship flew through space, approaching the massive mothership hovering over Sydney. From the outside, it looked like any other hunter vessel returning from a successful hunt. Inside, Garcia and her team waited nervously. They wore stolen hunter armor over their combat gear. It wouldn't fool the aliens up close, but it might get them inside. "We're being scanned," Thompson reported from the pilot seat. Garcia held her breath. If the mothership detected them now, they would be destroyed instantly. After a tense moment, the mothership sent a signal. "They're opening the landing bay," Thompson said with relief. "We're in." The small ship landed among dozens of similar vessels. The team watched through the viewports as Vexikar hunters moved around the bay, some carrying containers that might hold captured humans. "Remember the plan?" Garcia whispered. "We find the central chamber, locate Kirzath, and Mitchell does his thing. The rest of us provide cover and distraction." They moved out of their ship, trying to walk like the hunters. The stolen armor helped hide their human features. They made it through 2 corridors before a hunter stopped them. It spoke in the Vexikar language. When they didn't respond, it looked more closely at them. "Intruders!" it hissed, reaching for a weapon. Thompson was faster. His thunderclap glove connected with the hunter's head. The alien dropped without a sound. "So much for stealth," Garcia muttered. "Move fast now. We don't have much time." Alarms began to sound throughout the ship. The team ran through the corridors, following the directions they had memorized from the captured hunters' information. They fought their way through several groups of hunters. The thunderclap gloves worked perfectly, dropping aliens with single hits. But there were hundreds of hunters on the ship, and only 8 humans in the assault team. Finally, they reached a massive door covered in alien symbols. "This is it," Garcia said. "The ceremonial chamber. According to our intel, Kirzath should be inside." As if on cue, the door slid open. Inside was a vast room with high ceilings. At the center stood Kirzath, nearly 8 feet tall, his scales a deeper green than the other hunters. Around him stood at least 20 elite warriors. "Brave prey," Kirzath said in English. "You have come to me, saving me the trouble of hunting you down." Garcia stepped forward, her thunderclap glove ready. "We're not prey. We're here to end your hunt," Kirzath laughed. "Many have tried, all have failed." He moved with shocking speed, crossing the room in a blur. Before Garcia could react, the Supreme Hunter knocked her across the room. Her team opened fire and rushed forward with their gloves, but the elite warriors intercepted them. Garcia struggled to her feet, dazed from the impact. Kirzath stood over her, a ceremonial blade in his hand. "Your species put up a good fight," he said. "You will be remembered in our hunting songs." As he raised his blade, a massive figure stepped forward from behind a pillar. Ed Mitchell had circled around during the chaos. His huge hand encased in the thunderclap glove was already swinging. The slap connected with the side of Kirzath's head with a sound like thunder. The force of it sent a visible pressure wave through the air. Everyone in the room, human and Vexikar alike, froze. Kirzath stood perfectly still for a moment, his yellow eyes wide with shock. Then he collapsed to the floor, green blood flowing from his ears. The elite warriors stared in disbelief. One of them approached the fallen Supreme Hunter, checked him, then looked up at Mitchell with what seemed like fear. "The Supreme Hunter has fallen to prey," the warrior said in broken English. "This has never happened before." Mitchell stood over Kirzath's body, his huge hand still glowing blue from the thunderclap. "Maybe it's time you stopped thinking of us as prey," he said. The hunt was about to take a very different turn. The Vexkar warriors stood frozen around the body of their fallen leader. Ed Mitchell kept his thunderclap glove raised, ready to strike again if needed. Major Garcia slowly got to her feet, her eyes moving between Mitchell and the dead Supreme Hunter. The oldest-looking warrior stepped forward. His scales were darker with patterns that might have been signs of rank. He spoke in the clicking language of the Vexkar, then switched to English. "The hunt is paused," he said. His voice sounded strained, as if speaking a difficult truth. "The Supreme Hunter has fallen to prey. This has never happened in our recorded history." Garcia kept her weapon aimed at the warrior. "We're not prey. We're humans, and we want our people back." The warrior tilted his head. "I am Elder Vexithak. By our ancient laws, when a Supreme Hunter falls to prey, the hunt must be evaluated by the High Council." He looked at Mitchell's gloved hand. "With a single strike, no less. This is unprecedented." Thompson moved to Garcia's side. "What does that mean for us?" "It means," Vexthak said, "that your species has proven itself more dangerous than we anticipated. The hunt is suspended until the High Council decides whether to continue or withdraw." Garcia didn't lower her weapon. "And our people, the ones you've taken? They remain in stasis aboard this ship and others. They will not be harmed while the Council deliberates." Garcia looked at her team, then back at the Vexkar elder. "We want to speak to this council, and we want proof our people are safe." Vexthak seemed to consider this. "It is not our way to negotiate with potential prey, but these are unusual circumstances." He gestured to two warriors. "Show them the stasis chambers. I will prepare communication with the High Council." In the depths of the mothership, Garcia and Mitchell followed the warriors through vast halls filled with transparent tubes. Inside each tube was a human floating in blue liquid, eyes closed as if in deep sleep. "Are they alive?" Mitchell asked, placing his hand on one of the tubes containing a young woman. "They are preserved," the warrior explained. "Their bodies do not age, their minds are in a dream state. The worthy ones would have become living trophies in our museums. The others would have been released on our hunting reserves." Garcia felt sick. "You would have kept them like animals in a zoo?" The warrior seemed confused by her anger. "It is a great honor. They would have lived for hundreds of your years, studied and admired by our people." "That's not your decision to make," Garcia said firmly. "They're coming home with us." Back in the ceremonial chamber, Vexthak had set up a communication device. A holographic image appeared. 3 ancient-looking Vexkar with elaborate scale patterns. "High Council," Vexthak bowed. "I present the humans who have killed Supreme Hunter Kirzath." The Central Council member leaned forward, studying Garcia and her team. "Show us how this was done." Vexthak gestured to the recordings from the chamber. The hologram displayed Mitchell's perfect slap that took down Kirzath. The council members clicked and hissed among themselves. Finally, the center, one spoke again. "In all our history, no prey species has killed a Supreme Hunter. Your weapon targeted our only natural weakness." His yellow eyes narrowed. "Cleverly done." Garcia stepped forward. "We want the hunt ended permanently. All humans returned safely to Earth, and an agreement that your people will never hunt humans again." The council members' scales shifted colors. "Bold demands from a species we could still exterminate." "You could try," Mitchell said, raising his gloved hand. "But as you've seen, we're not as easy to hunt as you thought." A tense silence followed. The council members conferred in their clicking language. "Our ancient laws are clear," the leader finally said. A species that can kill a supreme hunter is no longer classified as prey. They are potential rivals. He seemed to struggle with the words. The hunt is officially ended. Your captured people will be returned. Garcia felt a wave of relief but kept her face neutral. And future contact between our species? We will withdraw from your solar system. A formal non-aggression pact will be prepared. The council leader's voice hardened. But know this, humans. You have made an impression on the Vexcar. We will be watching your development with interest. The hologram disappeared. Vexthak turned to Garcia. The council has spoken. You and your people are free to leave. The stasis chambers will be prepared for transport to Earth. 3 days later, Garcia stood in the White House Oval Office. President Lewis looked at her with tired but happy eyes. The last of the Vexcar ships left our solar system an hour ago, Lewis said. All across the world, the hunters simply stopped and returned to their vessels. The medical teams report that the people in the stasis tubes are healthy. They're waking them up slowly to avoid shock. And the treaty? Garcia asked. Lewis held up a tablet with strange symbols alongside English text, signed by both sides. The Vexcar recognize humans as a non-prey species and agree to stay out of our solar system. Admiral Harris, standing by the window, looked less pleased. We can't trust them. They're hunters by nature. They'll be back someday. Maybe, Lewis agreed. But we'll be ready if they do. Dr. Murphy is already studying the technology we captured from their ship, and we're keeping the thunderclap gloves in production just in case. Garcia nodded. Where's Mitchell? He's the real hero in all this. Lewis smiled. Currently giving slapping lessons to our special forces. His technique was perfect. Her smile faded. The captured Vexcar told Dr. Murphy something interesting before they left. Apparently, in their culture, to be defeated by a slap is the ultimate humiliation. It's a gesture used to discipline young hunters who fail their training. So, Mitchell didn't just kill Kirzath, Garcia realized. He humiliated him in front of his warriors. Exactly. The psychological impact on their species might be even more important than the physical victory. They fear us now. Harris looked out at the Washington Monument, visible through the window. The world has changed. We're not alone. And we're not at the top of the food chain. At least not yet. Lewis stood up. That's where you're wrong, Admiral. We proved ourselves against the galaxy's most dangerous hunters. With one slap, we changed how an entire alien species sees us. She looked at Garcia. Your team showed that humans don't make good prey. We fight back, we adapt, we survive. And we hit really hard, Garcia added with a small smile. Outside the White House, people were emerging from hiding places all over the city. News of the Vexcar retreat was spreading. After months of terror, humanity could begin to rebuild. On the edge of the solar system, the Vexcar fleet gathered for the jump to their home world. In the lead ship, Elder Vexthak studied recordings of the humans, particularly the perfect slap that had killed Kirzath. There was much to report to the High Council. The galaxy had become a more dangerous place, and humanity was just getting started. 5 years had passed since the day humans defeated the Vexcar with a single slap. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined before the hunt. Lisa Martinez, now Admiral of Earth's new space fleet, stood on the bridge of the USS Unity. The ship was humanity's first true interstellar vessel, built using technology reverse-engineered from the Vexcar mothership. Through the view screen, she watched as they approached a massive space station shaped like a wheel. The Galactic Concord Station, her first officer, Sam Russell, said with awe in his voice. I never thought I'd see it with my own eyes. Martinez nodded. After the Vexcar retreated, other alien species had made contact with Earth. They were members of something called the Galactic Concord, an alliance of spacefaring civilizations. For centuries, these species had lived in fear of the Vexcar. Hunters. When they learned that humans had defeated the Supreme Hunter, they quickly reached out to welcome Earth into their community. Admiral, we're receiving docking instructions, the communications officer reported. Take us in, Martinez ordered, and make sure our special guest is ready for the ceremony. The Unity docked at the massive station. Martinez led her crew through the airlock, where they were met by a group of aliens. They were a stunning variety of shapes and colors, some with multiple arms, others with no arms at all, some covered in fur or feathers or scales. Despite their differences, they all shared the same expression: respect. A tall, blue-skinned alien with 4 arms stepped forward. "Admiral Martinez, I am Ambassador Zrel of the Concord Council. Welcome to our home." Martinez shook one of the ambassador's hands. "Thank you for inviting us. Earth is honored to join the Galactic Concord." Zrel gestured for them to follow. "The Council is eager to meet the species that did what none of us could: stand up to the Vexcar and win." They entered a vast circular chamber. Hundreds of alien representatives sat in tiered seats around a central platform. As Martinez and her crew walked to the center, a murmur of excitement spread through the crowd. Ambassador Zrel addressed the assembly. "Honored representatives of the Concord, today we welcome a new member to our alliance. The humans of Earth have proven themselves worthy not just by their technology or culture, but by their courage. They faced the galaxy's most feared predators and emerged victorious." A holographic display activated above the platform, showing the moment when Ed Mitchell slapped Kirzath. The assembled aliens gasped and murmured. Zrel continued, "For generations, the Vexcar have hunted our peoples. Many species here have lost thousands to their hunting parties. Some, like the Threll, were hunted to near extinction. Yet these humans, with their creativity and determination, found the one weakness the Vexcar tried to hide from the galaxy." Another alien stood from the front row, a small, furry creature with large eyes. "We must know. How did you discover their weakness so quickly?" Martinez nodded to Dr. Alan Murphy, who stepped forward. The xenobiologist had become a celebrated figure on Earth for his role in identifying the Vexcar vulnerability. "We observed," Murphy said simply. "We noticed how they reacted to certain sounds and impacts. Their inner ear structure evolved for their home world's environment but was hypersensitive in ours. We created a weapon that exploited this weakness." "A slap," the furry alien said with what might have been a smile. "The simplest of attacks, yet the most effective." Murphy nodded. "Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one." Ambassador Zrel raised all 4 of his hands for silence. "Today we not only welcome Earth to the Concord, but we bestow upon them a special honor. For the first time in our history, a new member will immediately be granted a seat on the Security Council." This announcement caused even more excited chatter among the representatives. Martinez looked surprised. This hadn't been mentioned in the briefings. "Furthermore," Zrel continued, "we wish to learn from humans. Their defensive techniques against the Vexcar will be taught throughout Concord space. To that end, we have invited their most celebrated hero." The doors at the back of the chamber opened. Ed Mitchell walked in, looking somewhat embarrassed by all the attention. 5 years had changed him, too. He now held the rank of general in Earth's Defense Force. His hands, still remarkably large, had become symbols of humanity's unexpected victory. Mitchell joined Martinez on the platform. The assembled aliens applauded, in various ways, some clapping hands, others stamping feet or vibrating their bodies. "General Mitchell," Zrel said, "would you honor us with a demonstration of the technique that changed the balance of power in our galaxy?" Mitchell smiled awkwardly. "I'm happy to show you, but I'll need a volunteer." Ambassador Zrel stepped forward. "I have studied human physiology. Please demonstrate on me." Mitchell looked uncertain, but Zrel nodded encouragingly. Carefully, Mitchell showed the proper form for the thunderclap slap, the angle of the hand, the follow-through motion. He moved in slow motion, barely touching the ambassador's head. Even this gentle contact made Zrel wobble slightly. "Remarkable," he said. "I felt the pressure wave even from this restrained demonstration." After the ceremony, Martinez and Mitchell stood by a large window overlooking the stunning spiral galaxy. "Did you ever think," Mitchell asked, "that slapping an alien would lead to all this?" Martinez shook her head. "Never. But that's what makes humans special, according to our new friends. We're unpredictable." "The Vexcar have been quiet these past 5 years," Mitchell noted. The conquered intelligence suggests they're still trying to understand how they were defeated. They'll be back someday, Martinez said, but we'll be ready and we won't be alone. A small group of alien children, or what Martinez assumed were children, approached Mitchell shyly. One of them held out what looked like a book. "Are you really the human who slapped the Supreme Hunter?" one child asked in a high musical voice. Mitchell knelt down to their level. "I was just in the right place at the right time. Any human would have done the same." "Will you teach us how to slap?" another child asked hopefully. Mitchell laughed. "I think that can be arranged." As Mitchell began to show the alien children the proper slapping technique, Martinez turned back to the view of the galaxy. Humanity had taken its first steps into a much larger community. They had proven themselves not through conquest or intimidation, but by standing up against a bully, and they had done it with just one slap. In the distant Vexcar home system, the High Council reviewed the reports from their border patrols. The humans were expanding quickly, forming alliances with other species. Some younger hunters called for a new hunt to reclaim the Vexcar's honor. Elder Vexthak, now a council member himself, silenced these calls. "We underestimated them once," he said, displaying the recording of Kirzath's defeat. "We will not make that mistake again." The galaxy had changed forever, and it had all started with the most human of gestures, a simple slap.